Hello there, it's me, Sari, here again, and today I thought I'd start on a project making a a mini album with a hidden coil binding, and I will start making use of these Polaroid pictures, which I actually made with a program called Polaroin. You can Google it and find it there, and you can actually get some funky effects, some old cool effects on your pictures like this, and you can actually do some writing on the photos as well. So I have printed out 50 plus pictures, and I'm going to try to make them work in an album of some kind. I'm going to be using products from both Smash notebooks, things like this, some old book pages, map pages, and I'm going to keep the color scheme in a brown and black. So I'm thinking of binding these together, and I'll also be putting in some postcards perhaps, and even these things, perhaps a tag or two. This is just something that I have collected. Here are some pockets, even more postcards, perhaps even some journaling pages, postcards. And I think that these could be really nice to put in. I'll be cutting them off, of course, and just put a photo on them or something. And I'll just see where I can go with it. And I'll see if there's anything worthwhile in these as well that I could use. It could be that I continue stamping and putting on some train stamps and such, but this is the way I plan to do this. And I'm also going to be using these kinds of papers for journaling. So I'm going to give my handwriting a go and just go with it. And this is a paper pen that I actually bought really cheap in a store, and I bought them because it had these wonderful brown vintage colored papers. So this is what I'll be doing. I have cut the papers to 6 by 8 inches, and I'm going to do the base with a food carton, if I can find it, that is. There it is. It's just a quick meal food carton, and I'm going to do the punching with my Cinch, and just to measure how big this paper is, I'm going to pull out the ruler, and I'm going to find out that it's all about 8.5, but since the papers are 8, I might actually cut it down to 8. All of a sudden it became really crowded here, so I'm just going to cut it to 8. So in that way I'll have the perfect fit from the get-go. And I'll be trimming off the length later when I know how deep it'll go when I'm going to hide the binding like so. Let me see if I'm going to do it like this. But I was thinking of having this on the inside and then cover this up with something. But before I do anything of that sort, I'm going to put some tape on that. I'm going to use some black duct tape just to give it some extra strength, because I do believe that when you are browsing through this book, I'm sure it'll wear and tear, sort of. So just put it there and tuck it in like so. and then I have to help it out a little when I'm folding it like that. So in this case I hope I have secured the folding part of that book. So now that it is 8 inches wide, or high I should say, I need to have a look, see what peg I'm going to pull out, and it's the 4th peg actually, and I do believe that is out already because I had 8 inches on my former projects. But the first thing I'm going to do is with all the pegs in and just do the first punch like so. Then I'm going to pull it out. I'll actually even put it there, and I'm going to pull that 4th peg out. And the reason for me doing so is that I won't end up with half a hole up here. Sorry for that. So now I'm just going to wait until I'm ready to bind it all together. But this is basically how you do it. So I'm using this food carton because I do believe that it has the perfect height, and you have to bear in mind that you can't use too big coils, because you see that you can't get the holes more deeper in than that. If you were to use, let's say, 1.25 inches of a coil, this one would be really stupid looking on the outside because the coil wouldn't fit out and you wouldn't be able to make it work. So now I'm going to do the punching of all these pages, and I'll come back when I have done so. And now that I have cut the papers, or actually made the holes in them, it's really useful to put this coil on the side there, so you can actually just put the pages through with the coils and in that way make sure that you actually get them where you're supposed to. Let's see if I can make this one happen now, because I just did this randomly really. In this case it's really useful to just go for the peg on the side so you can make sure you get the holes where you want them, because this is pretty... You could succeed as I did, but at the same time you could just end up getting them somewhere else. Well, in this case I'm just going to tear it off so I can make sure I can get it there. So just by putting the papers like this, let's see if I succeed better with this one. I'm sure that one could actually work, but I'm going to need another hole up there. And I do love the cinch because all you have to do is just put the paper in place and press the handle. Really easy to work with, I must say. So what I have done now, I have combined papers that are either double-sided or just single-sided. Some of them are a bit sturdier and some of them are a bit thinner. And as you see, I've kept since I'm keeping the pages, most of them, at the same width, I'm getting a nice looking book that actually does feel a bit professional also. So let's see, now that I've got this one, if I am going to put it like so, this is going to be my front, but since I am going to cover this up, it is going to turn out nicely. So that's what I need to do, to just put it there, twist it over and put it in the cinch area really. This is what it looks like, and what I do is that I press this and that one goes down. So that's where the cinching or the binding actually occurs. Just bind it together like so, easy peasy. You see how nicely it does, and if you want to make sure that it's going to tie it up a little bit more, just twist that handle and do it once more, so you can get them to go even closer. And now that I'm turning the book over like this, I still do have quite a bit of space here to fill this album with the photos and papers and such. So that's why I don't like to use those ready-bought or ready-made albums, because they are as tight as they can be. And then when I add some pictures and such, they're going to fan out, and I don't like that. I really do like when the books are closed. So now I'll have to think about how I'm going to cover this one up, decorate it and such, and I actually managed to get it in the right way. This one actually went the wrong way, but it doesn't matter in this case. So now I have to think about what I'm going to do when I'm going to cover it. And I'm not that particular about the inside. Of course I could have put the tape all the way, I could have. But now it is as it is. So you see, I'm getting pretty good a spine to this album, and it won't be getting stuck to the clothes or anything in your bag. You just have a nice ending to that. And you know, since the tape here is pretty nice, I might just do with a cover and a back piece there. I wish that the tape was a little bit wider though. But next time perhaps I'll just put 2 strips, and I'm going to put it all across the middle section there. So now what I have to do is just figure out how deep I'm going to cut this, because I don't want them to be this deep here now, do I? Unless I'm going to put some flaps in here. If I were to divide the pages with the days that I were in Stockholm, actually. That could be an idea, of course. But I'll have to think about that, and I'll come back when I have something more to show you. So now that I have put some of the decorations here with washi tape, and I've continued putting on some pages like this, the pictures are here fastened with washi tape, and this is how far I've come now. But I'm not sure if I like it like this actually, so I'm thinking, I did make some flip mechanisms here. You can go this way, you can go that way, you can lift it up like that. And well, so I haven't done any journaling or anything yet. I just finished putting the pages in here. It's just a little bit of thinking of, am I happy with it, or should I do more layouts? Should I really be careful of what I do, why I do it, or am I just rushing things? I don't know. But I do like the outcome of the papers actually, so that is all right. Some of the papers are white on the back side, so that gives me some trouble. So I'm trying to make them look a little bit more thought of or planned, so to speak. And this one goes that way, and on some pages I actually put 2 pictures. And well, I suppose that the fun bit actually could begin now when I start decorating things. But what I'm thinking of right now is that I don't really know whether to be happy with it or not. So this is a tricky one. It goes that way, and it goes that way, and that one goes that way. And this one is just fastened like it is. The washi tape just started to rip. So this is basically it, and now I have to do the journaling and decorating, and I suppose that's the fun bit, eh? And well, this is it. And the book is going to be pretty thick, as you say, so it was a good thing that I didn't put more pages in it. And now I have cut this cover to size, and I'm thinking of putting on just some regular cardboard, really, to give it some strength. And I'm hoping that will actually make it a little bit more sturdy. So I'll come back when I have something more to show you. So now I have put the cardboard on, and I must say that it really made a difference. It feels really sturdy, and now I'm not afraid of actually the book falling apart or something like that. So this is a really good tip. If you have something that is a bit thin in the beginning, just find yourself a piece of cardboard, and that will absolutely do the trick. And the other good thing about that, using those cardboard bits and things, is that you are actually environmental friendly. So that's a good tip also. So now you see that the cardboard is actually showing like that. I'm not interested in that really, so I'm thinking of actually putting some more tape here in order to close it down, and perhaps even running the tape on the upper around the edge like so. So I'll have a nice black edge to the book, and actually just secure the cardboard to the base there. And then I could put a beautiful piece of paper there, or perhaps make a mixed media front or something. And although I'm thinking of actually keeping it as it is, plain, I mean, with just a plain surface, because then I can just put it in my bookshelf. I must say that now that I am working with it, it has a tendency to go inwards, because I do have that, I have scored it there, so of course it's going to go there, so I can't really do that much about it. And well, I think it's going to work anyway, because it feels pretty solid, I must say. So that's it. So now that I have put the photos in, done some writing, and even started decorating this a little bit further, I thought I'd just show you what it looks like right now. I did put some decorated paper on top of the taped pieces, and it actually sticks with just double-sided tape like this. I'm sure if I were to peel it off it would come off, but it actually sticks there. So I'm not going to leave it like this, but I just wanted to show you that it actually can stick it to this tape. And it does look pretty thick now, doesn't it? And I also did put the paper here, so I'm actually free to put in a pocket or something if I wanted to keep some maps and such. And well, I did put a ticket here, and that one is from the Paper Mania collection, I think. And I'm just going to leave it like this, I suppose, because I do like the dotted paper and such. And then I discovered that since I did put most of my photos in the center of the page, it did actually turn out that it's pretty thick on the centerpiece, but it's going to be a little bit sloping on the upper and downer pieces. But then I decided on, actually, you see, it's going to fold together more there than here. So it's more solid in the center. So that is something that you could think about when you start decorating things. And in order to get some more thickness, and also I get a tool to browse these pages with, I decided on putting on some paper clips. Here are some spiral ones. It's a black one. I got a pink one as well. And then I also went mad with those regular paper clips. And those actually hold the pictures in place, as well as serve as a structure or stability for that page, if you use some flimsy papers, that is. And here I just put a piece of notebook paper in the bottom and took a piece of those washi tape, oh no, sorry, Smashbook pages, and just put there. I did glue it on at first with some washi tape, but I found that some of these washi tapes aren't actually that sticky, so they don't keep the things in place that good. So that is what I realized I needed to go with some paper clips as well. And those could actually hold even more stuff. Let's say I were to put in a receipt like this. I could just put it here, or I could put a ticket or a stamp or something. And with this tag, I mean, this one is like this. I did punch the holes with the cinch, and then I cut into those holes. So in that way I'm actually free to put it wherever I want, and I can take it out if I want to. So I decided on stamping the word Stockholm here with 2 colors, and then I decided on making this 2013 really funky, organic even, I think people could say. And then I used a die cut that I had on my table with that skyline, and I think that is from Memory Box actually. And here is a photo of me reading magazines on the train. It's pretty nice to actually go by train, not having to do the driving from Gothenburg to Stockholm. It's a 4 to 5, 6 hour drive, and well, it's nice to actually relax and just do a bit of reading. And well, here we have the bus that took us to the hotel. We did go by the subway first, but then we have to change for that bus. And I have used different washi tapes here, and the paper clip is there also. And as you can see, I'm keeping this book really simple, so I might not even talk about all these pages that much. And because if I'm going to do a recap when I have continued working on this, I might come back and talk to you a little bit more. So here's the hotel, Capitol Hotel, Best Western. It was on an industrial site really, so it was a bit noisy. And it's just a tower. I don't know what that is. It didn't seem to have any function whatsoever, but the surroundings actually smelled pretty badly. I'm thinking it was manure or something in the grass, because it did smell like that. And here is the tram stop, and here is that tram that they called Tvärbanan. And here is inside that Tvärbana up there. So if I want to flip the pages, I can just take the paper clip off and put it back to have that stability on that page. And the first stop we had for lunch was actually Indian food, because that is what I do fancy. So that is what I wanted to find. And we found it actually in Gamla Stan, the old parts of the Stockholm town. And well, I did put up a piece of a map here just to give it some definition. And well, here is a wonderful tunnel that you can actually see through to the next street. It was really nice. And here we are walking from Gamla Stan to somewhere else, and I put a piece of book paper there, book page. And Stockholm is surrounded by a lot of water, I must say, and here you can see lots of birds in the lake or in the ocean, I don't know what that is. And we did some walking. I did put an old dictionary page here, and I do fancy this grid pattern paper. I'm just going to keep it as it is because I do like the paper. And we had sunny weather. It was really nice. A bit chilly, but it was sunny all days. A bit of snow on the last 2 days, but not much, just a few snowflakes actually. And there are some funky houses in Stockholm, and then we went off to have ourselves some cake. Our legs hurt, burnt really. And then well, it was time to say goodnight, and the next morning it was time for the hotel breakfast, and it was really yummy, I must say. So it was a nice breakfast there. And then we went walking. We went to Södermalm, and we had decided on going to Hornsgatan after that. So here is something when we crossed a bridge. It was pretty nice with those ice flakes there. I know that it's spelled wrong there, so needn't worry, you Swedish people, I know it's wrong. And here is something that I saw from the bridge. A really nice view there. It was really nice with the blue and the whites with the ice. And just a warning for myself for the next time, because I did glue this on there, but the glue actually went through and it went to that photo, so it's not that nice now, is it? But I could of course print out another photo if I wanted to, but I'm not going to be bothered about that. And here we went on that long street called Hornsgatan. We walked and walked and walked, and then I decided on putting in just a postcard here, just to keep it somewhere, because I did buy a couple of postcards. And I do fancy looking at different things when I'm out strolling, so I did find this door handle for a billiard hall, so it was nice, wasn't it? And then when it comes to these 10 points shoes, I do like them. They're really vintagey and funky. And here also I have something written down there, so it's easy for me to just take it back there. And here I just wanted to make a collage of papers really, and just to see what could happen with the leftover pieces of paper I had. And here is where I started crinkling this dictionary paper up, and I thought it was pretty funky. So that gives you a nice structure really. And then there was a little bit of glue down here also, so I just decided on putting on something that I had stamped, and it was lying here on my scrap table. And you see, wherever you go you can see water in Stockholm, so it's a nice town when it comes to that. So this one is called Postcards. And then we headed on, we left Södermalm and we started walking towards Gamla stan yet once more. And I thought this view was pretty spectacular really. It was a really long look. So I really did like the buses there and the train tracks and the bridge and then the town and the church and everything. So it's a nice picture, I think. And here's just another take on that. There's a train coming there. And here I was imagining myself coming with the train, arriving there. Choo choo! And here is a view of the Gamla stan, the old town. And these pictures, by the way, are manipulated with a program called Polaroin. It did take me a couple of hours to do them, but and then I printed them out with my inkjet printer really, and it turned out pretty nicely. But it's not a cheap version. You actually have to spend, I'm thinking, 7 or 8 crowns. It's more than $1 per photo, and I think that's too much. So that's why I went ahead and bought myself a Sublime. I went ahead. Nice. So now everything is falling down. I bought myself a printer. It's the Canon CP900 Selfie it's called. So I did try it out, and this is the first print I made. It's the same picture actually as this one here. So see the difference in mixing it with the Polaroid and having it as it is. So that was a little bit about that. And then we went to a really quiet coffee place to have ourselves some lunch, and I tried tomato soup for the first time. It wasn't really a smash hit for me really. I didn't feel like I was full after that. And then when we were walking I saw a luxury car there in Old Town, and then there's another wonderful handle there on the door. And then there's even more water, and then we are heading towards something else, and it turned out to be a shopping street. And there is also something, a nice vault there. And there's another beautiful gate. And then we had to go working actually. We did have to go and help scrapbook it out with the selling of stuff. But first off, when we came to Globen, it's pretty magnificent a sight, and you actually can see Globen from afar up there. And here is some kind of a tourist attraction where you can actually sit there and have a spectacular view over Stockholm as it is. And here is also a pretty big shopping mall. If you want to go shopping, so you should actually go to Globen to do that. Lots of shops there. I didn't have the time to go there, of course. And here is the empty place where the 1,000 people could sit, scrap and do some pearls and such. And here we are trying to build our shop together, and here we are actually doing the stuff. So here's Anneli, the owner, and back here where nobody can see me is me. And I did have some demos and workshops. And here is the place when it's crowded. So it's quite a lot of people there doing some scrapping and crafting. It was a nice event. So now I think I'll have to put some kind of a rubber band situation going on here so I can actually keep the book together. And I'm going to make a front for it, and perhaps even do some more decorating on the inside, because I do think it's pretty plain now as it is. But this is it for now. Okay, bye-bye. Hello there, it's me, Sari, and I'm continuing with that Stockholm album, and I just wanted to share with you a wonderful tip, or perhaps a wonderful result. I did have a stroke of genius, I think, when I took this stamp, which I actually bought from Panduro. It's a Swedish craft shop that actually has a broad variety of stuff, and they have also started with mixed media things and even scrapbooking stuff and such. So what I did with these was that I just stamped it with VersaFine, and then I stamped this stamp across these letters, and that's how I ended up with that result. I mean, that is to die for. I don't usually like to blow my own horn, or I don't know what you call it actually, but I must say that I did like the result of this. Just wonderful with that texture. Just imagine. So I wish now I actually wish that I have had this one in a bigger stamp. Although I do know that I have this in paper, so if you wanted to, of course, you could just cover the paper up before you die cut it, and that's how you could be able to get those letters and numbers. But I just wanted to share that with you. Bye-bye. I'm back to show you that I did make the binding like this. I just made it really easy because I want to be ready with this album. You know, sometimes when I'm faced with this bigger challenge, I just can't bear to just relax, enjoy the process. I just want to get it over and done with because I do want to get on with some new stuff. So that is why I'm rushing this project along. But I wanted to show you that I actually did put the rubber band from this side to the back, because I felt like that if I'm going to work with this photo here, I didn't want that to be, I mean, sort of destroyed if I were to have it the opposite way. Let's say I'm opening this, it's going to stay like this, so I have to pay attention to where I put my decorations. If I'm going to put any more decorations, perhaps I'll just keep it plain and simple, because all of the book is pretty plain and simple. Well, you might actually see that I have done something to the front cover here, because I left the back side just as it is. I just coated this with gesso. I just wanted to get started if I were to do something with a mixed media theme. I'm not sure if I'm going to go there. I still think that the whiteness there gives the photo a nice frame, and well, I'm not sure if I can keep these white, so that could be a drawback. Perhaps I could color them in with some stain then. Should I dare to go red with these? Now I must warn you, when it comes to these paint dabbers, I'm sorry, distress stains, some of the colors have a tendency to change and shift. Well, this one actually did stay red, so I do think that I could dare to color them in without being afraid of them miscoloring. So let's see if I could just ink them up like this, and perhaps they needn't be perfect. I do want that shabbiness or that grunginess to these. But I do love the way that Great City stamp from Panduro turned out when I stamped it on that white, and even on the craft surface. I do love it, really. I think I'll just go ahead and paint these completely. So I'm going to let those dry, and then I'll see where I end up. Hello there, I think I have decided that this will have to do. I'm actually pretty pleased with that Stockholm word there and the numbers, and it's great to actually incorporate something red, because there is a red flag in that photo there. So this is it, me coming to Stockholm with the train, and then it's just an easy layout on every page, and I did browse through this one before now, didn't I? So I won't go to details, although I might actually just show you. You know, sometimes you get postcards for free, and here is one that I just decided on putting here. It's about one of our politicians that actually was murdered. I'm not sure when, but could it be 20 years ago? Olof Palme, his name was. And they also made a film of this, so. And then I might have even put another postcard here, showing the same thing as I've got there and here. And this place is called Slussen. And, well, this is it basically. I think I'll just keep it as it is, so I can move on to some new projects perhaps. Alright, that's it from me, and I thank you for your patience. Bye bye.